Every year, a flood of new games enter our libraries, and some manage to become entries we can't stop going back to. Even years after they've been released, we can't rip ourselves away. These are games that regularly give us reasons to keep playing, be it because of excellent developer support, post-release content, or regular patches to the base formula that only seem to keep improving the product or changing it in interesting ways. To prove they can stand the test of time, our entries were all released before 2019, sorry Apex, and have continued to be successful for years. So join us in celebrating the top 10 most addicting online games. Overwatch is ever evolving. It's a true paradigm of modern hero-based first-person shooters that are made up of addictive gameplay, numerous playstyles, and backed by a community that supports the game and keeps it alive. We can't wait to see how the upcoming Overwatch 2 builds upon the existing Overwatch foundation, but whenever it does release, rest assured, it will be a very different game compared to now, and that really excites us and keeps us wanting to play. There's no arguing that Destiny has had its ups and downs through development, but Bungie has also done a tremendous job trying to find that sweet spot as they poke and prod the engine into a place the community is happy with. With regular updates, cross-save, and especially since they've gone free-to-play, it's not surprising that Destiny 2 was the #1 paid and free-to-play game on Steam this October. Destiny 2's future looks brighter than ever, especially with a team as committed to getting it right as Bungie seems to be. While we understand that Fortnite has reached market saturation and you're probably tired of hearing about it, there's no denying that it's been a phenomena and regularly brings in huge views on platforms like Twitch and Mixer. The craze may have stabilized, but that doesn't mean Epic has slowed down their incredible in-game events, like the black hole that shut down servers for a few days and kicked off Season 2 and had children crying in their parents' arms. The regular tweaks and partnerships keeps giving players a reason to sign on, be that to play as Batman, or maybe Thanos, or to watch J.J. Abrams reveal a new Star Wars clip. PUBG, Apex, Call of Duty, and Escape from Tarkov are all doing interesting things in their corner of the Battle Royale genre, but for the time being, Fortnite remains king. If you would have told me in 2015 that Rainbow Six Siege would be on the bestseller list for the next 4 years, I would not have believed you. However, here we are, and it's not as surprising as you might think. With constant updates, tweaks to the operators, and huge championships featuring new reveals every year, Ubisoft has managed to keep the game feeling fresh with each patch. Not only is there a community out there of inviting people willing to teach you the best ways to breach, but even as you're learning, you find yourself improving even when learning simple tactics like camera placement or creating a rotate between points. With the operator grand total being brought to 52 as of last month with the addition of Kali and Wamai, Rainbow Six Siege shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. Even though Counter-Strike Global Offensive was released on August 21, 2012, it still holds a strong reign over the competitive first-person shooter genre. Well known for its competitive nature in the esports scene, CSGO offers casual and competitive game modes that invite a wide range of players. While this is an older FPS title with no other games to match its content, CSGO focuses on challenging players on pure skill and strategy. Teamwork is heavily important in standard competitive matches, and mastering specific spray patterns of each weapon available is critical to becoming a top player. CSGO offers plenty of content for anyone to jump into, and Valve keeps working on updates to this beloved FPS title, which keep CSGO as one of the best FPS games out on the market. While the competitive landscape for Hearthstone may be a bit stale if you've played for 5 years, you can't forget that the other modes in Hearthstone keep the game great. Over time, Hearthstone has amassed a surprisingly large single-player experience. Hearthstone is nearing 10 unique single-player experiences that offer fresh alternatives to its standard gameplay. Of course, if you're the type who still prefers the competitive side of things, the newly announced Hearthstone Battlegrounds Auto Battler mode has captured the attention of the game's most prominent players and appears to have introduced a much-needed change to the competitive landscape. Magic the Gathering may be the newest kid on the block, but there's something special about Hearthstone that keeps us coming back years later. League of Legends continues to fulfill the niche of being one of the most accessible games to the greater PC audience, while also having the depth of play that keeps players coming back for more. Critically a free-to-play first model, anyone with a half-decent computer could download League and play one of the 146 distinct champions in 5v5 combat. It's a game where teamwork, skill expression, and game knowledge all work hand in hand to try to capture victory. The League community also remains extremely vibrant. The game developers do a great job tweaking the game every so often to prevent the meta from being stale. Because of this, you're always feeling like you are playing something new, while yet still fundamentally sound.
Victory!
Dota 2 is a satisfyingly complex game. Not only are there well over 100 heroes with unique abilities to learn, with about 2 heroes added each year, there are also tons of items and creative ways to use both to achieve the ultimate goal of destroying the enemy team's Ancient. No one playstyle is absolute either, and the freedom to play creatively keeps Dota 2 engaging even if you're not interested in learning all of its heroes and roles. Constant updates and seasonal events are helpful in retaining player interest too. These updates aren't just for balance though. There have been several game-changing updates since Dota 2 first came out of beta in 2013, and the latest massive patch that altered some fundamentals of the game is one of the most exciting yet. With so much constantly changing in the meta, and an interesting professional scene to help interpret those changes, it's fun to keep coming back to Dota 2. Final Fantasy XIV game director Yoshi P and his team at Square Enix not only dropped one of their best expansions yet with Shadowbringers, but they were able to introduce a slew of big quality of life updates that improve the experiences for new and old players. Aside from the typical patches you see with every MMO, Final Fantasy XIV was able to add in a new unique job, a Final Fantasy XV crossover event, and new post-game content in collaboration with Nier Automata this year. From Square Enix's live stream updates to community fan events, Final Fantasy XIV is a great contender for the best ongoing game ever. But it is time for our number one. With over 15 years of content updates spanning across 7 expansion packs, there's no denying that World of Warcraft is one of the largest and most popular MMORPGs out there. WoW created an MMORPG world set in the Warcraft universe that managed to take the old MMO formula and transform it into something that was more accessible to all types of players. And it worked! Nowadays, WoW is played by millions of people who have fallen in love with its world, characters' lore, gameplay systems, and its fantastic raids that have all been built up over these past 15 years. Plus, with WoW Classic being a gateway for folks to crave Blizzard's first, more hardcore version of the game, there's a version of WoW for every kind of player, past and present. Managing to pave the way for all others after it, and also become an influence for many entries on this list, World of Warcraft reigns as our number one, and it's well deserved. Pulling back the curtain for a second, I have to be honest. Narrowing this down to 10 entries was incredibly difficult, so I wanted to let you know about a few games that were incredibly close to making the list, like Minecraft, which continues to keep things fresh with regular updates and chill co-op gameplay. GTA 5, which always has someone watching the no-pixel mod community's latest role-playing antics. And Magic the Gathering Arena, one of my personal favorites, which is starting to give Hearthstone a run for its money. Of course, there are plenty more excellent games that could have made a top 20, like Diablo 3, Path of Exile, Warframe, or Rocket League, all of which have created amazing communities to keep their game worlds exciting, interesting, and may even be on your own list of addicting games. So do you feel like we got it wrong? Let's talk about it in the comments below, and tell us what should have been swapped out and replaced with your favorite and why. I'm Destin from IGN and the soon-to-be exciting comments section below, reminding you to keep it right here for all your gaming needs.
Running in circles, never leave me alone. Say I don't answer the messages or pick up my phone. Say we